You think you have relationship problems, but sometimes what you really have are untreated wounds. Hi ladies, welcome to the Whole Ladies series. My name is Adaeze, and this is a space where we have real honest conversations about healing, growth, relationships, marriage, and becoming the woman you were always meant to be. And today we are talking about something very real. Why some relationships and marriages struggle more than people realize. One thing I have learned is this: relationships don't just reveal love, they reveal wounds too. Because when somebody gets emotionally close to you, they also get close to the parts of you that are still hurting. And sometimes the reactions we think are attitude are actually pain. Some people overthink everything in relationships because they have been disappointed too many times. Some become too defensive because they spent years feeling unheard. Some struggle to communicate because growing up nobody listened to their feelings. Some people push good people away because deep down they are scared of getting hurt again. And honestly, many relationships don't end because there was no love. They end because unhealed wounds kept turning little issues into heavy emotional battles. And then marriage. Marriage amplifies everything, because when you live closely with someone, there's less room to hide emotionally. That small disagreement suddenly feels personal. A delayed reply feels like rejection. Silence after an argument feels like abandonment. A simple correction feels like an attack. Not always because your partner is terrible, but because old wounds know how to speak louder. And sometimes your spouse is responding to the present moment while you are reacting from years of pain, fear, disappointment, and emotional neglect. You know, there were moments in my own journey where I realized some of my reactions were deeper than the actual moment. Growing up around conflict, instability, emotional pressure, I learned survival before I learned emotional safety. And later I saw how some of those unresolved wounds showed up in my emotions, my communication, and even in my marriage. And that's when I realized healing is not optional if you want to build healthy relationships. Here are some practical truths. Love alone is sometimes not enough, because unresolved pain can make healthy love feel unsafe. Not every reaction is about the current situation. Sometimes people are reacting to what the moment reminded them of. Healing helps relationships breathe. When you heal, you stop expecting people to pay for what others did to you. Marriage does not hide wounds. Instead, it exposes them. And sometimes that exposure is painful but necessary. Some people are not difficult to love, They are simply deeply wounded. And until healing happens, pain will keep interrupting love. This is why healing matters. Because unresolved trauma doesn't just affect you, it affects the way you love, communicate, trust, and show up in the relationships and marriage that you are in. Type in the comments, have you ever realized that some of your relationship or marriage reactions were connected to deeper pain? Maybe pains from your past?